Today's show was recorded live at The Refinery, Charleston's hub for creative industry. Go to therefinerychs.com to get event, venue, and contact information. Now on with the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Shrimp City Report. My name's Devin. I'm joined with my co-host, DJ. How you doing, DJ?
Doing good. Despite the rain, doing good, yeah.
I know. And so it is a pity all the rain we've been having, and that sometimes that can be a dampener to certain sports. And I think we're going to talk about some sports today, DJ. Who do we have?
Yeah, we've got Larry Larson on, the new voice of the Riverdogs, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me. Great to meet you both.
Oh, yeah, to the max. We're fans. It's a coveted gig for you, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
You know, three-time champions.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a notable team right now in that level of baseball. Where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Rockford, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So that is in northern Illinois. It's about 60 miles northwest of Chicago. So grew up in that Chicago sports region.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of passionate fans up there, and here we are today.
Okay, so you were basically born into the baseball scene then, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Home of the Rockford Peaches, of course. So
Yeah.
Rockford, a baseball town through and through. My dad is a huge baseball fan.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got into it. And I don't really know when I landed on, I want to do this for a career.
Yeah.
But for as long as I can remember, and it's worked out.
What'd you end up going to school for?
So I graduated from Bradley University, Peoria, Illinois, with a degree in sports communication.
Okay.
So what I tell people, especially like aspiring young broadcasters, is it doesn't really matter what you get your degree in, but it matters what you do outside of class.
Mm-hmm.
So I know people who broadcast right now who graduated with degrees in like political science, but they're a sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
So it matters if you work at a student radio station, work at a student newspaper. As long as you do things like that, like you can figure it out. But yeah, that was my degree, sports communication. So definitely relating to the subject.
So when you were growing up in high school or whatever, were you driven? How was your family? Were they supportive of stuff that you went after, things like that? And even through when you were at Bradley?
Yeah. Oh, highly supportive, and still are to this day. I don't think I would be able to pursue this as fervently as I have without the support of my parents, because I think it's easy for parents to really want to kind of steer what their kids do, understandably so. And when I told my parents and have talked to my parents about my career, never once have they said, hey, that's kind of a pipe dream.
Right.
What if you did this instead? Or, hey, have you thought about this? It's always like, okay, how do you get there? What do we have to do to get you there? And so, I definitely wouldn't be here without them.
Okay.
It's incredible. So I'm super grateful for
it. Yeah. Devin is my son, so you're not going anywhere because this podcast is just getting popular.
Speaking of how did you get there? I mean, we've looked at like your resume, and it is crazy the teams that you've been affiliated with. How'd you end up getting to Charleston?
Yeah, the resume thing, I wish most resumes were like legal size paper instead of the normal size paper, because I think that would fit mine a little bit better. But it's all over the place.
You did some stuff in Illinois, obviously, but you also did like Tampa Bay Rays as well?
Yeah. So I was in the Tampa area with Dunedin Blue Jays last year. So that was the Blue Jays single A affiliate in the Florida State League. And then before that, I was with the Marlins high A affiliate. A lot closer to home in Beloit, Wisconsin for me. That was my first 2 years in the minors. That was a crazy experience, just really being able to do it in my backyard.
Yeah.
Because, people move all over the country for these jobs. And my first job out of college, I got to live with my parents. It was insane.
That is.
I still can't believe I got to have that opportunity. And, things happen, things shake out, different ways. And I ended up a little bit further from home. But it's been a really enjoyable experience being able to experience different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Well, being down there in Tampa, did the Rays anyway, in any form or function, get you to Charleston? How did you get to the port city?
Yeah, so that's a great question.
Uh-huh.
No direct connection with the Rays.
Okay.
Although when I was down there last year, I was able to connect with people in the Rays organization. I was able to go to the Trop and chat with the Rays broadcasters and visiting broadcasters, and that was a really cool experience. And obviously now those connections are really fortified, being that the Riverdogs are a Rays affiliate.
Right.
But how I got this job, people say it's all about who you know, and this is exactly how it played out for me. Jason Kemp, who's the voice of the team for, I think, 4 seasons from 2021 through 2024. Great guy. I had heard of him, but I didn't know him. But I did know somebody else in the league. I had met them out in the Arizona Fall League, which is a kind of extended minor league season that's put on by Major League Baseball. I do some broadcasting out there and met one of the broadcasters in the league through that. He texted me in November or December, "Hey, Jason's leaving." He asked me if I knew of anybody that's looking for a job, and I was, and worked out.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, not unfortunately, that is how the world works.
It is.
And especially those kind of networking with on air or any kind of personality or talent or something. That's how it goes.
At this point in your life, are you like up for all the traveling, the potential traveling that comes with networking? Like when you were like, got a place for you in Charleston, you were like, I'm on it. Or,
Well, yeah. The travel and the kind of moving back and forth is definitely an interesting dynamic with all of this. I've probably spent more time in my car than in my different places of residence these last 3 years. So my off-season gig is back in Illinois. So right now I'm not year-round with the Riverdogs. I've got this part-time, I kind of do a half and half, a reverse snowbird, if you will. I work for Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, but I commuted that from Central Illinois, where my girlfriend lives, and Northern Illinois, where my parents live. So after that season wrapped up, I, packed up all my stuff in my car, and I was able to get a place here in March. So
that's good.
It's a lot of driving. So I'm very used to it. Whenever I get to fly, it's a treat.
Do you do all the sports at Southern Illinois or?
So I do women's basketball on the radio and football on TV and some men's basketball on TV.
Right on. Southern Illinois, the Salukis, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Right. So back in the 80s, they used to do the Division I AA championships at the Citadel. And I think I'm pretty sure it was Southern Illinois that won 2 of them back to back there.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
They're still a really good FCS power. So it's a lot of fun being able to call that level of football. And football is really hard to get. There's a lot less football gigs out there than there are major league or minor league baseball gigs. So I'm really lucky to be able to do both at the same time.
Excellent. And not only that, you have something else going on. DJ, doesn't he have his own little media? Before we get to the Riverdogs.
Sports Media.
Oh, man. Clutch Sports Media. It's funny. I'm glad you guys brought that up. Before I came over here, I was sending a bunch of prospective sales emails for Clutch Sports Media. Right. So essentially, Clutch is a business that me and one of my college roommates started when we were at Bradley. We got there as freshmen. We both wanted to do play-by-play, and we kind of realized, okay, the opportunities that we have here at school are great, but if we actually want to do this for a career, we need more. So we started this business to go out and just call high school football, call high school basketball, some other sports, baseball, softball, whatever. And we started it in the fall of 2019. Started picking up steam. Come February 2020, we're doing a lot of games, a lot more people are listening, and then boom, COVID hits. And we think, okay, what now? Well, we won an entrepreneurship competition through Bradley, so we got some seed money and bought video equipment. And by the time high school sports started back up, they weren't letting a ton of people into gyms. So what did people have to do? They had to watch the stream. So it kind of blew up, and I did not expect to be still running this business. We thought it was just going to be, a quick little thing while we were in college, but it's turned out to be somewhat of a moneymaker and, an opportunity maker for current students at Bradley. So we've kept it going.
So is that just the two of you? How do y'all have other people doing the broadcasting or anything?
Yeah, so we've added a third owner here recently, and we really bring in a ton of students. So local high school students around Peoria, college students at Bradley from Illinois State down the road, other schools as well, and now we have 2 full-time employees. So
that's awesome.
It's been quite the journey.
That's pretty cool. So you're paying it forward, but you're also creating a new crop of potential sports media folks.
Exactly.
And even, I mean, that's cool because I guess you get these relationships, and as your business grows or as you grow, then you're also going to have more networking, and you can cherry pick who you want at that point. So.
Yeah, the sports business is something I'm really passionate about in a lot of different areas. And I also think that having that side of it benefits me when I come to work in minor league baseball, knowing like, hey, I'm a business owner myself, and at the end of the day, this is a business. So I'm always thinking, okay, how can I make the team money?
Hey, everyone. We really want to encourage you to visit the refinery in Charleston, South Carolina. The refinery is a beautiful mixed-use facility that's home to upscale office space, 2 restaurants, the Limbo Lounge, and an amphitheater that hosts national, regional, and local acts year-round. We cannot recommend it enough. Go to therefinerychs.com to get event and venue information. You can also go to the site to learn how you can even book the spaces you want for your own event. So go check them out, and thanks. Right. Okay. So you're with the Riverdogs. You do play-by-play. You have not only a history doing play-by-play, you have a history as a business person. So Devin, DJ, how long is the average game? 3 hours? What, two and a half?
I would say now with the pitch clock, and thank God for the pitch clock. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes. A long game is like 2 hours and 50 minutes, and we'll probably have like 10 to 15 3+ hour games a year out of 132. So it's got a lot better.
So you're doing play-by-play. Do you have anybody assisting or doing color or anything?
So I have an intern, but he's not on air. He helps me out with a lot of the media relations stuff, and then we do the post-game show together. So, but during the game, it's just me.
You're on an island.
Band.
Holy smokes. And you do radio and video.
Yep. Podcast, so I do like a simulcast style. The home games, because they're streamed on MILB TV, and then road games are just audio. So I try to blend the styles a little bit.
Right. So doing play-by-play, of course, there's a lot of X's and O's or, explaining the baseball part of it. But baseball is not exactly, going at 100 miles an hour, except for the ball. So I guess there's a lot of improv and extemporaneous stuff that you have to do to keep the flow going.
Yeah.
Has that become second nature?
No, I was thinking, at what point does the persona quotation marks develop,
Yeah, that's a really great question, and I really think that's such an essential part of baseball broadcasting, specifically broadcasting in general, right? But in baseball, it's very much lean back and then lean forward for the pitch and then lean back again kind of pace, and that really lends itself to entertainment, I think. And especially in today's day and age, there are dry broadcasters and dry broadcasting styles that are really good, but I think that probably plays a little bit less in 2025, considering attention spans are shorter than ever. People have a million entertainment options. They can pull out their phone and turn on something else. So if you're not entertaining, you're not keeping people tuned in. So that's something that, especially these last few years, I think I've grown a lot in that area. Coming into it when I was in college and first year in the pros, I was so obsessive about the details. Okay, calling every pitch correctly, describing a ball in play. All those things are really important. But now a lot more of my focus has gone towards, sort of that improv and delivering stories and delivering one-liners. And I think that's super important.
What's more intimidating, making a mistake on a calling or the actual public speaking of it all? Then?
Oh, man. It's interesting because I don't even really think of it as public speaking.
Oh, really?
It is to an extent because anybody can tune in and you never really know who's listening, but you can't see your audience.
Wow,
And it's kind of nice when I do have an audience, when I'm doing an interview or I have people in the broadcast booth. I can kind of look at them when I'm tossing out a line and I can read their reaction. Okay, did that land? Was that funny? I always we have a camera operator in the broadcast booth. I'm always turning at him and talking at him because in a way it is like a conversation.
But, for sure.
I've never really thought of it as public speaking and making mistakes. That's another area where I've kind of had to have a lot of growth because I've wanted to be perfect for a lot of my career as a broadcaster, but you're talking to yourself for 3 hours a night. Nothing's ever going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you're going to flub stuff. So it happens, and I've had to kind of learn to deal with that.
We're also talking about one of the most statistically examined games in history. You were a statistician at one point too, right?
Yeah. So
some experience.
That's like a sort of a side job for me. So big TV network broadcasts. So if you turn on like college football on Fox, it's not just the broadcaster and the color commentator in the booth. There's a spotter.
Yeah.
And there's at least one or two statisticians that kind of like pass notes off to the broadcaster. Hey, so-and-so just hit 100 yards rushing on the game, or, oh, that's a career high in passing. And then the spotter points out names and numbers for, who made the tackle, who broke up that pass. So I've done both those jobs for broadcasters I know in that network side. So, that helps in the sense of trying to think about, okay, what information could be valuable to the broadcast right now.
Yeah.
But in baseball, like, I'm my own statistician. I'm my own spotter. Like I said, it's kind of like a one-man circus in there. I saw a TikTok the other day, and I sent it to my girlfriend. I said, this kind of reminds me of me at work sometimes. It was this dog, and they had him in front of like a piano, and then they set up a drum behind his tail, and his paw was pushing another instrument, and he's like playing 3 different instruments all at once. I'm like, it's kind of how I feel sometimes during a broadcast because I'm pushing the buttons, trying to bring up stats and facts and stories while also trying to, describe the game and say the score enough. So it's a lot to kind of keep track of.
That's right. I mean, that is such, my gosh, trying to do all that at once. And you must have a crazy good familiarity with all the players on the team, the coaches, everything that's been going down, probably with the entire, the division or whatever.
Yeah. So that's definitely an essential part of, trying to get to know these guys as people, not just players, because I think that's an essential part of being a broadcaster because you have access to these guys. Fans, they don't get to go stand on the field and watch batting practice and chat with these guys or go to the clubhouse and interview them. So it's kind of my job to relate these guys to the fans. So getting to know them beyond, oh, hey, what pitches do you throw? What's your favorite pitch? Things like that is, I think, paramount.
The Riverdogs, I know they're minor league, but they are Charleston's team. They're beloved here. Generations have grown up going to them, and they still go religiously. So it's an intimate kind of experience. And then if you're doing the legwork to get that boned up on it and to also give us a different experience when we're listening on the radio or whatever, that's really a plus. I like that.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a good point. Like, what type of, when you moved to Charleston getting this gig, what type of research did you have to do ahead of time?
It's interesting because, I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on minor league baseball. You hear a lot of different things from different broadcasters about which places are good jobs, which places aren't so good.
Really?
And, Charleston is one of those places I hadn't heard a lot about, but obviously when the job came open and I was in the mix, I dove headfirst into it. And it really is an incredible tradition they have here. Obviously with the kind of make fun slogan and with the VEC background, it's a big deal. And I think you still kind of see that in our operation today. But they've really kind of churned out broadcasters. A lot of Charleston broadcasters have gone on to, AAA and the big leagues. So I found that out pretty quickly. And I think that makes this job really attractive. But I think it really kind of resonated with me when I got here and saw the crowds. You don't get crowds like this in single A.
Yeah.
It's more like a double A or triple A type operation and attendance figures. So being a part of that is really awesome. And also, I admittedly didn't realize how much of an it town Charleston kind of was. I didn't realize how rapidly it was growing. And I've noticed since I got down here, there's somewhat of a divide between locals and transplants. I think there's going to be that anywhere, but especially here. And what I really love about the Riverdogs is if you're a local and you've lived here all your life, you go to a Riverdogs game. If you're a transplant and you just moved here in 2021 or 2024, you can go to a Riverdogs game. It's something that everybody likes to do. It's very open to everybody, and it's a great time.
Even not even transplants, but tourism.
Yeah.
It's huge. The amount of bachelor parties that go to a Riverdogs game, just for the hell of it. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's plenty of games too. How many home games do you have?
66.
66. Okay. How about, do you do any away games?
Yeah, so I do a fair amount of away games, so I don't do all of them, but I do travel to a lot of the close trips.
Okay, that's good.
To like Columbia, Myrtle Beach, North Augusta, places like that.
Okay.
So you get a feel for the league, and, again, Charleston is definitely different in terms of not only the crowds, but the crowd engagement in Charleston. They really get into the game, and that's not something you get a ton in minor league baseball. It's not like the big leagues where, the fans that show up are diehard baseball fans. They're there to have fun, but they're still really involved.
No, there is something special, I think, about minor league. Like, even as a kid, I didn't really get the whole baseball thing because I went to major league games. I don't know. Something is, I guess, to me more intimate, being right in there. And I think that really reflects Riverdogs.
Yeah, it's charming. I mean, you can sit, behind home plate for under $25 most of the time. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
One of the cheapest seats is right under the broadcasting booth.
Well, it's every time we have anybody in town that visits, I mean, it's a must to go to the game.
Well, that's
it's
awesome.
It's very reasonable to go to it. It's fun. It's good baseball.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer to do that.
Yeah, accessibility is something that really comes to mind with minor league baseball because you think about Charleston, the closest big league team is Atlanta, and that's 4 hours away. So minor league baseball is huge, not just in Charleston, but in the entire state of South Carolina. There's minor league teams everywhere.
Yeah.
Columbia, Greenville, Spartanburg just got a team back. So this is really, this community and a lot of different communities access to baseball.
It is fascinating. You said Spartanburg just got a team back, that it's growing that much, and minor league ball can, exist. I mean, now what? Four places in the state of South Carolina they have?
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing
Greenville,
a team.
Spartanburg, Columbia, Myrtle, and Charleston.
Yeah,
so that's 5.
Myrtle, and if you count Augusta,
that's right.
The South Carolina side.
Yep, that is.
4 teams in our league, and then at least 2 other teams that are in the South Atlantic League, the league that we used to be in.
Yeah, the old South Atlantic. Yeah, and it's weird because, I mean, sometimes you hear people talk about a decline in baseball enthusiasm, and I'm like, well, how do they still have teams? I mean, how are they making more? That's one of the sports that is actually still growing.
Yeah, I think baseball's kind of had to make an adjustment, and you see Major League Baseball really leaning into it with minor league baseball in the sense of, hey, come to the game, not just for the game, but for the entertainment, for the fun, for the giveaways, for, the teams that have bat dogs, things like that.
Yeah.
Baseball is really trying to lean into now. I think no coincidence with the rise of the Savannah Bananas and brands like that. People want more entertainment. Now, that's to say, because I'm somewhat of a baseball traditionalist, purist. You kind of have to be to, sit and watch as many minor league games as I do.
Right.
I think that's important, but it's also important to not let go of baseball traditions and trying to get the crowd engaged in the game. And I think that's an area where we really kind of split the difference well.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot on your shoulders being the ambassador for not only the Riverdogs, but everything else you do. Once, really the only derogatory thing I can say for you is you don't have enough ambition.
No.
Facetiously say that.
No, yeah. I think my work ethic is definitely sometimes lacking. I don't work enough. And if you ask my girlfriend, she'll tell you I'm just not working enough.
Laying around.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Watching Below Deck.
Exactly. A lot of Netflix,
Right.
Hulu. I've got all the subscriptions to watch during the season. Yeah, there's a lot to do on a daily basis for sure. That's just beyond the broadcast as well.
At this point, I gotta cut in. We would be remiss for our audience not to know. Have you met Bill Murray yet?
I have not met Bill Murray yet. I've heard in my first day, one of my bosses was telling me, he doesn't show up as much as he used to, but he'll still hit up like a game or two or three. I heard he was at one game, but he likes to keep it on the down low. So I have not met him yet.
Okay, had to ask.
We've got like 1 week left in the season for that to happen this year, so might have to wait till next year. That's a phrase that he's used to saying as a Cubs fan.
So let's talk about the Riverdogs name and tradition. I mean, I assume that's because it's by the Ashley River.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I have yet to hear how the Riverdogs really got their name.
Right.
Obviously, they changed their name when they moved by the river. But I don't know why dogs exactly.
We actually got you covered.
Look at this. You learn something new every day.
So Charleston Riverdogs basically originated, did the 1994 swap, but apparently is inspired by an urban legend that sailors in Charleston called the Marja Rats swimming in the rivers.
Okay.
That's the first time I had ever heard of that.
It's the weirdest thing. I looked this up. I was like, because I had heard like before that it was like some type of weird origin or something like that, but I didn't know it was like, oh, it's supposed to be rats.
That's not on the Riverdogs bio, is it?
No, probably not on the website. That's maybe not something that we want to promote, I guess. But our logo is an actual dog, not a rat.
Right.
So that's a positive.
Years ago, I was driving down Lockwood, and I hit a rat that I think put my front end, out of alignment. So there were pretty big ones back then. It's been, cleaned up quite nicely.
Thank goodness for that. I know there used to be a landfill around that area where the ballpark is now. So wouldn't surprise me if there were a lot of rats, especially right when they built the ballpark.
Such a beautiful place.
I have to ask this now that we have a man on the inside. Okay.
This sounds ominous.
All the balls that go into that marsh right behind.
Oh, yeah, that's
what
right.
What happens with that? Is it a landful of balls? How do people pick them up?
It's funny because you look out there and you rarely ever see baseballs in the marsh.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know what happens to them. Maybe the gators eat them.
Could be. Something's got to get them.
I've seen more raccoons in the marsh than gators.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe the raccoons take them. We do have like marsh cleanups a few times a year. So I imagine we come out with a good handful of baseballs during that.
Or either they're hidden somewhere.
Yeah, souvenirs for the wildlife.
Yeah. So do you have anything coming up besides knocking out the last week or so of games?
Yeah, it's a big week at the ballpark here this week. At the tail end of the homestand, one thing that's really big for us right now is we do a lot of partnership with MUSC and the Children's Hospital. And so on Sunday, we're presenting them with a check. That's kind of a culmination of all the events that we do with them to fundraise for the Children's Hospital. And it's $100,000 this year. It's the biggest check that we've ever written for them. So that's probably the highlight for me is trying to get the word out about that. And that's just incredible to see the impact that, a minor league baseball team can have. A charitable effort. Again, I don't think there are a lot of teams that can say they have presented a $100,000 check to a charity, let alone one that's, right in their backyard. So that's the big thing coming up on Sunday.
Okay.
A lot of different things throughout the week. Our normal promotions. We've got country night on Friday. We'll have a mechanical bowl.
I saw that on your Insta.
I don't think I'll be doing that while calling the game, but we can try if they want to bring it up to the booth.
Get a really long microphone cord.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. My mechanical bull record, I think, is about 20 seconds. So that would make for a mess.
Yeah. Please tell me at least Charlie's going to be jumping on that.
Oh, man. That
To
would
be
be great.
determined. Poor Charlie might lose his head if he rides on the bull.
Oh, man, that's great. Yeah. And what time is first pitch Sunday? That sounds
5:05.
Okay, that sounds like a perfect afternoon. We'll definitely promote that and try to get out ourselves since we got the big check thing going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, the one thing I'm trying to not promote is it's looking like we're not going to make the playoffs for the first time since 2021.
I didn't want to bring that up. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Jason made the playoffs every single year.
Yeah.
Won a title 3 of his 4 seasons.
Times, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I show up and, hey, what gives?
Yeah.
Come on. I've never made the playoffs with any of my teams in the minors.
It's probably not you, but
well, we can't rule it out. You know, the Rays are pretty good with player development, so I don't know what the missing piece was this year.
Well, I'm sure it was, still exciting and lovely, and you've done a great job, and we were, stoked to get you on for this. And it's really nice talking to the personalities and the people in media with the Riverdogs or any sports organization. It's more of a free form talk. So that was really refreshing.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
DJ, Devin, great to meet you.
It's great to meet you. And for the Shrimp City Report, we will talk to y'all next week. God bless.
See ya.
See you. Thanks.